What's up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and welcome to this non-gameplay info video right here about the 4.7 War Robots update that hit today. And we have so many changes and news that I want to make one video summarizing it all for you guys. We have the new Chinese dragon robots, you know, for the Chinese New Year at February the 5th coming soon. And we have the new weapons coming in that were tested on the test server soon before. I'm going to show them to you guys in a sec. We have new time reduction for upgrades on all weapons on all robots. We have new robot Bolt as well. And hey man, there's so many balancing tweaks, like Mercury being able to now use stealth even when it's locked down and stuff like this. So I'm gonna go through and rush through as quick as I possibly. I'm recording this for the second or third time already because they were all too long. So I'm really rushing through. I'm trying to make this happen and get you guys all the info in just one video instead of searching through different articles and different videos to get them all. Okay? So, and by the way, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel and you like this kind of info log and info video, even though there is no gameplay, then consider subscribing, guys. I would certainly appreciate it, and if you hit that notification bell, it gets you notified for upcoming videos. So, starting off here, the new dragon robots, the Aochin, the Aoguang, and the Aochun. Alright, I have already made gameplay videos to those on the test server. I'm linking them to the video description and pinned comment for you guys. The Aoguang would be this guy here, or starting off with the in the same order here. The Aochin is the easier to obtain one. It's the weakest one. It has 4 light weapons and fires an additional middle laser beam as well. No resistance, no stealth, and it gets killed really fast usually, but it's easier and faster to obtain. The middle one would be the resistant one with 80% damage resistance while it's flying, firing with 3 heavy weapons at the same time, and built-in rockets coming out of its mouth, as you see here in this thumbnail. And that is yet another video I've made on the test server where you can see how this thing looks, but it's now looking different. They now finished the look of it. That was the early version on the test server where it wasn't yet finished in the looks. And then we have the Aochun, the guy, basically the flagship of these 3 now. It's a heavy robot that flies faster even, has the highest amount of HP and 2 heavy weapons, and fires a built-in flamethrower ember weapon kind of while flying, right? And yeah, so those are the 3 new robots that are coming that are actually already here now with this 4.7 update. If you start War Robots now, you're gonna trigger the update and then it's there. And then we have the community robot Bolt. It's basically a new dashbot that you can acquire from level 5 already on. 3 light weapons and lots of dashes. It's going to be a really strong robot. However, no passive module slots at all because, once again, rebalancing changes. I'm going to go to them in a few seconds. Balancing changes to the Invader, where I'm wondering why are the Invader getting a buff. I've already made a video a few days ago showing how insanely powerful the Invader is when it's maxed and stuff like that. And now it gets a 33% damage resistance while flying, while in the air with a jump, and then after landing, additional 5 seconds also, the 33%. So even if you don't suppress this dude right there, he's still going to deal 33% less damage to you for 5 seconds after your landing. That will certainly help the Invader a lot, and I'm not sure if that was necessary considering how insane the performance of the Invader was on the video I recently made. I'm gonna also link it to the video description in case you haven't yet seen it. And yeah, then we have the Raker, getting a buff, not really big change, it's just getting 3 shots of the ability to suppress enemy weapons now instead of 2, with a higher cooldown in between. So in a one-on-one, nothing will change. Even against 2 people, nothing will really change. It's only really against, and you can now basically suppress half the enemy team if you hit with all 3. Now, the Hellboner gets a nerf. Hooray! The Hellboner was causing some issues in War Robots for sure, but it gets a ability duration. So when it activates, until it explodes, it's now 5 seconds instead of 7, so that's kind of a buff even. But the ability cooldown goes from after exploding. Instead of 3 seconds until you can re-initiate the explosion sequence, you have now 5 seconds cooldown. So that equals, in my math, the same amount of explosions as before, so there is not really much of a change when it comes to that. However, you have a 12.5% self-damage now. So that's, even if you have 300,000 health because you're maxed out, you will get a ridiculous amount of damage yourself because it's based on percentage now, and that's crazy. So you're gonna take much more damage now from self-exploding, so be careful. And also in here, that's the biggest change, the self-explosion at the end when you die with your Hellburner is now less rewarding. It's only half the amount of damage as it did before. Definitely a pro, and maybe it helps prevent these teams of players with Hellburners to just rush through the entire map and cap all in just 1 minute. So, other changes. Natasha, movement speed from 36 to 38. Durability, 5% increase. Butch becomes a really viable machine now, I think. From 39 to 43, it's getting really fast, the Butch, and it gets 10% more durability too. So maybe we're gonna now see a few more Butches instead of only Furies on the battlefield now. Let's see, Raven now, increased speed 44 to 47, durability of 6.5% increase. Not much, but definitely something. And Lancelot gets a 3 kph speed increase, and the side shield's durability has been increased, but that doesn't really much matter, because the middle shield is what matters when you get hit by Shock Train, Scourge, and all these Tarans and plasma weapons. And the side shields usually were still up when you died. Normally they aren't really destroyed, so not much of a change there. But definitely this fast speed is definitely a good increase on the Lancelot. The Stalker gets 66 kph across all levels, no matter what, and that's a really fast robot now. I'm not sure if the Kamiho is still faster with the dashes, though. I think it might be. Gepard, don't laugh, it's called Gepard, it is a German name, and I'm German, I know how to say Gepard. Durability, 10% increase. The Bulwark Physical Shield, also 10% increase. Not sure if it was necessary, because the Bulwark was already doing great. However, no stealth ability, no jump, just slow walking fortress. Let's make this thing fortressy like, and tanky, right? Weapons, and that's just the buffs. The new weapons I'm speaking about in a second, guys. The Shredder bullet spread has been reduced, so now you can at long range hit better and more accurately, deal more damage with Shredder, making Shredder better at long range with Lockdown, while Halo will still succeed better at short range. Sting and Wasp damage increased by 10%. Something I want to test during a live stream or during a video and review them now again, because with 10% more damage, let's see how they do, right? And speaking about a live stream, tomorrow we will have a big live stream, ladies and gentlemen, where I'm trying to get all the new content already to the press account, where we can test all this new stuff that we have just speaking about, right? Review the new dragon robots together for the first time, right? That's something I'm trying to make happen. I can't promise it, but I'm trying to get this to work for tomorrow's live stream. Redeemer gets a 5% damage increase, and Thunder too, and this is where I'm just like, oh, the Thunder only gets 5%. I think the Thunder really needs like 15 or 20% damage increase, and here's the reason. This is around the damage difference between Thunder and Glory right now. Glory deals so much better damage, so much more reliable, and Glory bypasses energy shields, which Thunder does not, and Glory locks down, which Thunder does not. So clearly Thunder should be the one dealing at least more damage, and for this it needs 20% and not 5%. So that's where I'm saying, like, oh, okay. And then we have the Ion with 7.5% more damage. That's also kind of a surprise to me, because I tested Ion on the Spectre recently in a live stream last week, and it literally 2-hit killed next to every robot with his shots when it's maxed out. That was really insane. So let's test this Ion Spectre again in another review video, which I'm gonna do really soon, which is also why I'm hoping you guys subscribe to get all these notifications for those videos coming up. Now, upgrade times, I'm not gonna go too much into detail about them, because I'm making it so that you can look at the graph yourself. You can stop the video and then check it out. Most importantly, the last 2 levels are the ones that really got the biggest change in terms of upgrade reduction. But also here, the first one, basically Pixonic is dividing those all robots into 4 categories or tiers, starting with the starter robots, then the second, advanced robots, then already really pretty good war robots, and then the meta bots, pretty much. Although it is important to say that the Strider and Falcon fall into the strong robots, not the end one, because the last category has the highest upgrade time still. Even though it went from 264 hours to 198 on level 11 to 12, it's still a very long upgrade, and the longest of all, because it's the meta tier, while these ones here are not. And the Strider and Falcon, in my opinion, are the very definition of a meta robot, because the Strider, in my opinion, the best free-for-all robot you can run, literally. I'm gonna prove this to you guys in a video coming up. Don't mark my words. You're gonna be amazed to see what the Strider can do when it's played well and it's good, well equipped. It is the absolute monster killer, and you can't lose in free for all with this if you run it right. And of course, last stand makes a difference too, right? Falcon also, I don't need to say much about this. I've made 2 Falcon videos recently, and it's like the strongest, tankiest robot, hardest to take down, and it's still in this category. So that makes these 2 robots, in my opinion, the best, most attractive upgrade robots currently. And the same goes for weapons right here, and once again, interesting to mention here, Trident falls into the first starting category. Probably because it was a workshop weapon back in the days, and still, basically, it's easiest to upgrade now, from 57 to 36 hours at level 11 to 12, and the Trident is currently like the strongest sniper weapon you can probably have, or long-range support, however you want to say it, and yeah, it's interesting to see this one here still in this category, because it really is an attractive weapon to you guys. So yeah, that was the, like I said, stop the video and make sure to see the list for yourself. And it's also linked to the video description and to the pinned comment, the article. Now, one more thing before I come to the weapons. I would be so happy if this was not only a time reduction, but also the silver cost requirements were reduced. I would, and I have here, for my back pain, which I sometimes have, a gymnastic ball. I'm not sure how you say it in English. And I am, and this is a promise, Pixonic, if you're going to lower the silver cost for all robots, I will literally be making a video, the entire video bouncing on this ball for joy. Out of joy to finally see all the weapons and robots receive an upgrade cost reduction, not only the upgrade time. I'm gonna make a full video like this. I'm promising this, guys, and I'm hoping we will get to see this sometime in the future, because upgrading the time reduction is cool, but the silver upgrade cost, I think, is a big problem to a lot of players, and that's why I would really love to see this one happen as well. So yeah, module tweaks. Oh no, you know what, let's go to the weapons finally. This right here is the Marquez. It's a new weapon, also already arrived in the game in the 4.7 update. When you get home, you trigger the update, and there it is. And it's basically a light version of Dragoon now. It deals around half the damage of Dragoon, and when it fires, you can equip 4 of them on a Blitz robot, for example, and I think it will equal around the amount of damage than 2 Dragoons on a Butch would, for example, right? So definitely an interesting thing to run. 600 meters range, energy shield bypass, super powerful weapon, definitely. And yeah, that was the video I've made. Maybe I'm gonna link all these videos also to the different weapons to the pinned comment, so you can just check out the whole library and wiki of my videos that I've made around these topics. So then we have, of course, the light version of Ember. It's a flamethrower, and it looks like this when it fires. I've designed the flames here to I added them myself, but they look somewhere around this, like Ember does pretty much. Well, a little bit different, but still 4 of them on a Blitz with maybe one halo to lockdown. That certainly burns, quite literally. So that's a really interesting weapon. Also arrived already here in the 4.7 update, and here it is. Boom! The heavy version of Calamity, ladies and gentlemen. The heavy version of Scourge and Spark. It's called Calamity, and it will be an absolute killer. I'm not sure on a Falcon, for example, or even on a Fury, on a Butch, on whatever you want to run it, or on the Aochun, of course, the new flying heavy dragon robot, man. This is going to hurt. Okay, or maybe a Hellburner. What else could be? That's a Falcon, obviously, in the middle as a middle weapon. The amount of damage you can do with this is brutal. So definitely looking forward to testing this. Maybe even already tomorrow in the live stream. Maybe we can already test it together for the first time. Then I'm hoping it will happen. Then we have module tweaks for basically. I'm going to go down here and read it here. Kozak, Vityas, Patton, Garrett, Jesse, Golem, Boa have lost all modules. They just have none. Starting robots shouldn't have them, Pixonic says, and they have removed them. Gepard Stalker, once again, it's called Gepard. Don't you doubt me on that one. Gepard Stalker, Rogatka, and Bolt. They had 2 passive slots and now get 1 active slot. They lose both passive and get 1 active slot, which is crazy, because that means like a Rogatka won't be able to have last stand. And same goes for the Bolt robot that is new, right? Then we have Leo, Griffin, Natasha, Doc, and Fujin, who had 2 passive slots that will now get 1 passive and 1 active slot only. So the Fujin is no longer going to be able to amplify its damage with 2 passive modules, but it will have an active module at least. to be able to do some more with that and counter some stealth bots. Also interesting and really cool that we have community paint jobs now. Big shout out to BattleDrone82 and also to Rooster for their Reanimator Wayland and the Urban Raptor Inquisitor for their community paint jobs. Really awesome, and let's see if I can also equip those to them and run them in a video soon. Now, bug fixes and usability, that's a very important category here because, for example, fixed a bug causing players' nicknames not shown in combat. You had no indication that an enemy was running towards you because he previously died in stealth with his previous stealth robot, and that's now fixed. That's very good. Fixed a bug causing wrong amounts of power cells on the hangar screen. Fixed a bug causing module activation buttons to not work properly. Fixed a bug causing Battleborn and Last Stand timers not to appear correctly on Android devices, which I had the problem. I'm glad that is over. Fixed a bug causing the item sorting and inventory not to consider using items on another hangar deck. A bug causing filled equipment slots to be shown as empty. A bug causing Raker to get stuck in random places. I never had that, but I didn't run it too much. Mercury can now use the ability while being immobilized. Stealth and explosion will be triggered, but the robot won't jump. Same as the Spectre, for example, that can still activate stealth, but no jump will come out. In this case, we have the additional explosion. But it also means that the already super powerful Mercury can no longer be countered by lockdown. I thought that was a feature and not a bug. I thought that was meant to be like that because the Mercury was so powerful, it needed to be able to be countered in some way, and this was it. But apparently that was not supposed to happen, and now it's fixed. Makes the Mercury even better now. Regine doesn't get stuck near Beacon E on Springfield. What? Okay. Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. And also, one more thing. The module activation button for the active module has not been changed yet. The reason is that around half the people on the test server said with the feedback that it won't be enough to make this. They will still hit it by accident. And so they are looking into this some more, trying to find a better spot for it for the next test server use and see where they're going to put it now. But only making half the people happy and the other half is still the same problem to me won't really make much of a change, so they let it out. So, yeah, all those links in the video description and pinned comment. Go ahead, check them out. The video still went 16 minutes, but it was a lot of information. Instead of making you run through various different articles and videos, I wanted to make one with everyone. Pixonic, give me that bouncy video. Make the silver cost reviews happen. Come on, guys. Let's make this happen. And, yeah, I'm gonna say thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, as brutal as a man can hit, for more. Thanks for bearing with me. You guys are awesome. As always, Manni-Gaming signing off. Bye-bye.